I'm Aaron from PhoneTalk.com, and you wanted that Droid RAZR MAXX, that Droid RAZR, but you were on AT&T, well, you're getting a very similar device. The Motorola Atrix HD is in the house. It's packing some very similar specifications in terms of that Kevlar back and that durability, and it's packing a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor and ice cream sandwich out of the gate. It's available at AT&T as of the 15th. Let's take a look in the full unboxing. High-end smartphone for $99.99 on AT&T. It's the Motorola Atrix HD. It's the successor to the Atrix lineup of devices, and like I said, coming July 15th rather, for $99.99. So it continues on a great value proposition, much like the Atrix 2, and it continues AT&T's commitment of releasing devices in all kinds of price points: $49.99, $99.99, $150, $200. So it's pretty cool. Special thanks to Motorola for sending us a review unit. Always grateful to have them around. Thank you so much for that and the goodies that I'm going to show you in the video in just a second. And special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with phones like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They'll help you set up your email, your web. They'll show you how cool the Kevlar strong back is, all that stuff. At Best Buy Mobile, they'll make sure you're walking out working. So let's say you wanted a Droid RAZR MAXX or a Droid RAZR. You weren't on Verizon. You were like, I really want one, but I really want to stay with AT&T. We've got the Atrix HD. Now, spec-wise, it's packing a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. It's running Android 4.0 out of the box, and it's got that same Kevlar material on the back, same durable shell, and then it has an 8-megapixel camera as well with 1080p HD video recording. So very similar in terms of specs. It's got a 1,780 milliamp hour battery, and it's got a front-facing camera as well, though you'll notice, and before I say that, texting and driving, always great to see that, a campaign I strongly support. And before I go too far, you'll notice no physical buttons, no capacitive buttons down there at the bottom. They're all on screen, much like stock ice cream sandwich. So Motorola is kind of continuing that tradition. We saw it, go from gingerbread. Each time they release a new OS, it seems like they move away from their Motorola UI, and they've done it again with this one. Going back capacitive buttons, very, very stock Android. So that's going to be great for those people that love a stock look and feel. It comes in two colors, modern white and titanium. Apparently, modern white as opposed to aged or antiquated white, and then this one clearly is the titanium one. Out of the gate, you get some basic stuff: AC adapter module, Motorola USB cable, nothing too exciting here. Motorola safe, smart, protected, and then it's easy to get apps, and that's about it. 4G LTE capabilities here, very thin, 8.4 millimeters thin or thick, depending on how you are. If you're a glass half full person, it's 8.4 millimeters thin. If you're a glass half empty person, it's 8.4 millimeters thick and burning a hole in my pocket. Quick start Motorola Atrix HD over here. You're like, enough of this, just get into the device here and stop with the box. Let's take a look. And you can see over here, very thin device. It's got probably, in terms of this versus the Motorola RAZR, it's a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker, but in comparison to the RAZR MAXX, it's a little bit thinner. Still has that same kind of telltale hump there on the back. Like I said, 1,780 milliamp hour, non-removable battery. You've got a power button over here, a volume rocker on the right side. You have nothing over here with the exception of this, with your micro SIM card slot, micro SD card slot, and up top, micro USB charging port, HDMI port, and then again on-screen buttons with an AT&T logo down there at the bottom. Very odd considering they usually go with the logo and with the AT&T text. Kind of strange to see it just like that. But again, 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor, Android 4.0. It's about 8.4 millimeters thin or thick, 1 gigabyte of RAM. So again, keeping in mind a $100 price point, it's pretty impressive in terms of specifications. Here we go. And I should mention the 4.5-inch display is an HD display. So it's got ColorBoost technology. It's HD 720 by 1280. And you can see here it's already powered up and ready to go. So let's take a look here and see how the user interface has changed even from Android 4.0 on the Motorola Droid RAZR and Droid RAZR MAXX. First of all, capacitive buttons down here at the bottom show your recent applications, show home, and I can manage my pages from here. So I can add blank pages if I want to, and I'm assuming I can pinch and just keep adding pages. But out of the gate, you just get one, which is kind of cool because you're like, they're like, you may want 4, you may want 5, you may want 7, assuming you can go all the way to 7. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can add home pages here. So you don't get these out of the gate, but you can always add those blank pages from there. 1, 2, or that should be 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we can add another one. I did not mean to do that. Let's go back. 6. Let's see how many we can add. I assume we can go to 7, and that's probably a max, but let's see. Yeah. 7 max. So I've got 7 home pages now, or 7 home screens rather, and then I can scroll back and forth and change those around. Now obviously this one you may want to be your main one, so I can shift that around and easily bring it back to the middle. And then out of the gate you get typical AT&T stuff: code scanner, family map, smart Wi-Fi, ready to go, navigator, device help. You get some stuff like AT&T Messages, Real Racing 2 out of the gate, AT&T Live TV, Vehicle Mode, which is a really cool feature I'm excited to test out. They're finally putting this stuff on phones where you can put your phone in vehicle mode and you're not tempted to text message, you're not tempted to email while you're driving. You can send a message saying something like, hey, I'm driving, catch me later, and we'll talk, something like that. I really like that feature. So again, widgets up here. And much like the Motorola DROID RAZR and DROID RAZR MAXX, you've got a very stock look and feel here in comparison to TouchWiz, in comparison to Sense 4, LG's custom user interface, and more. Very, very stock feeling here, with the exception of some of the widgets. On that topic, let's take a look at some of the widgets and see, because it looks like we have some new Motorola widgets outside of Circles, which is a new one, Drive Smart, which is something we'll cover in the full review. And then over here, Tasks, YouTube, YP Mobile, looks like that one is the major one. Circles is the major new one where I can get my weather, I can get my battery life, and then I can get my clock on one easy spot there. So it's not quite like the Galaxy S3 and some of the Samsung devices that I like where it's up top, but you do get easy access to the battery where you don't have to download an application like Curvefish, or battery life rather, by Curvefish. Folders are here as well. Phone application, very similar to the look and feel on the Motorola DROID RAZR and DROID RAZR MAXX. And then you got these cool little activity things, it looks like. Let me see how these come out. With email, obviously with phone, I'm just swiping up. I'm assuming it's just a swipe up kind of feature. Swipe up like that, and then I can see the activity on the phone. That's a pretty cool little feature. Let's see browser. It looks like I can, I've got my bookmarks right there. So a lot of neat things to explore on this device, since this is the first device to roll out with Android 4.0 and Motorola's new, I'd call it the new UI. And then down here, settings are very similar. And battery, and then this has smart actions as well. So you can come in and kind of customize it and make it how you want to use it and still conserve that battery in the process. We're going to turn Wi-Fi off. And then through here, let's see what this lock, Motorola's privacy policy. Yeah, of course we accept that. Why not? And then display, and let's see what we've got in terms of wallpapers as well. Let's take a look at text messaging really quickly, see what the keyboard looks like. I assume, yeah, same keyboard as the one in the DROID RAZR and DROID RAZR MAXX with the ice cream sandwich update. But again, new home screen setup. Clearly a new wallpaper there. Let's take a look and see what we get out of the gate. Beautiful display, 4.5-inch HD display, like I said, with ColorBoost, and I can scroll back and forth and see. That's really pretty. Let's set the wallpaper to that. That's beautiful and very vibrant, and you can really see, and the camera's not doing it justice, but you can really tell. 4.5 inches, nice sweet spot for a lot of people. Not too big like 4.8 or 5 inches, not too small like 3.5 like the iPhone. A moderate size that should appeal to quite a few people, and at $100, it's a pretty good deal. Stay tuned for more coverage on PhoneDog.com of the Motorola Atrix HD. We'll be doing first impressions, reviews, dogfights, and more, so stay tuned. In the meantime, be sure to cast your vote for your favorite smartphone, PhoneDog.com/rankings. It's PhoneDog's official smartphone rankings. We're really excited about it. It continues to do well, and you can have your voice heard in this industry. PhoneDog.com/rankings. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron, Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB, and on the PhoneDog page, at Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Much more to come on the Motorola Atrix HD on PhoneDog.com.